Hey everybody, trying not to make this a weekly occurrence, but here we go again with another winter storm. This is not the same as what we were preparing for last weekend, but this is going to be a significant storm for a lot of folks, especially if you are planning on doing any sort of driving through the day on Sunday, and you might. With the Super Bowl. Hopefully you're avoiding parties, though. We do have a winter storm warning in effect for all those counties you can see shaded in blue. That means higher impact from this event than the blue shaded counties, where the winter weather advisory likely means lighter snow and less intense snow as we go through this event. So here's the breakdown for you. Here are the headlines. Snow is going to arrive shortly after sunup. Sunup tomorrow morning, 6:59. You don't have to look it up. But shortly after that, snow should start to fly. And I think it's going to stick with us for pretty much the entire day, at least through the daylight hours. Once we get to sunset, snow starts to taper off and it'll be quiet by later in the night. Most of us just get snow all the way through. But Jersey Shore, once again, you will see some mixing. This is similar to last time. Rain early on Sunday morning, but then it'll turn over to all snow for the remainder of the event from like midday on. Should just be snow for you. There will be some pockets that get those heavy snowfall rates, 1 to 2 inches an hour. That's when that snow is coming down heavily and can make a mess of things in a hurry. But unlike last time, we're not getting those blizzard conditions. You're not getting 35, 40 mile an hour winds. This is going to be pretty light, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. Really shouldn't get much of that sideways snow. Visibility should not be the type of issue it was on Monday and into Tuesday. Might be a little bit reduced as that heavier snow comes down, but blowing snow, not a concern here. And 3 to 5 inches, that's what we're expecting in the city. And really for most of us, with a little bit heavier totals off to the south and into Long Island. We'll take a closer look there. Now, we still have a ton left over. You can see all those spots in pink. Over a foot of snow still on the ground in a ton of places. In the city, we've actually done a ton of melting over the last few days. At peak, our snow depth was at 14 inches. As of this morning, it was down to 7 inches. We've cut it in half with all the melting we've been doing, but places like Eldred, you've still got over a foot there, and about a foot and a half up in Claryville. You can tell, because these are right here, that 2, 3 on the fence, that's 4 feet of snow, and the one is still buried under the snow there. Here's where the system is right now. You can see all that rain down through Georgia and into Florida. That is what's going to bring the moisture up our way as we get into the day tomorrow. Low pressure kind of swirls out over the coast, meets that cold air to get together and bring us some pretty heavy wet snow. That's another big difference from Monday and Tuesday's storm. That was a pretty cold stretch. We were in the 20s for most of the event, which meant snowfall rates somewhere between 10 to 1, 10 to 15 to 1, snow ratios, I should say, which means a lighter and fluffier snow, which if you had to shovel, you had to go out a few times anyways, but it's lighter. It's not that really heavy, compacted, moisture-packed snow. This time will be that heavy, wet, hard to shovel, back-breaking snow. If you got a neighbor with a snowblower, maybe flag them down and see if they can help you out, especially if you end up with close to 6 inches of that heavy, wet stuff. It is going to be a backbreaker to try to kind of shovel all of that yourself with that wetter snow. Okay, let's go ahead and kind of walk you through, because we're quiet right now. Skies are clear. Temperatures aren't that bad. We're above freezing after being in the 40s for back-to-back days, but it gets cold tonight, and then those clouds start to settle in. Timing-wise, like I said, after sunup, here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, and you're just barely starting to see that storm edge in from the south and west. Rain, like I said, down in Ocean County to start. Monmouth County probably sees a little bit of mixing through the morning, but as we head toward the middle of the day, we're starting to see that changeover begin to happen, and some of those heavier snow bands start to set up. Maybe close to an inch an hour, maybe a little bit more than that. Look at this though, by 4 o'clock, we're already seeing on the back end, things are starting to wind down. Long Island, you're probably still going to be dealing with this through the late afternoon and into the evening. And we could see some heavier snow mixing in during that time. Should clear out by 8 o'clock, I would think at the latest. Most places between about 6 and 8 is when we should see that snow shut off. So again, a key difference from Monday, Tuesday. This is a fast mover. Less than 12 hours is what we're talking about from the first snowflake to the last snowflake. This thing gets through quickly, but because of some of those heavier snowfall rates at 1 to 2 inch snowfall an hour that we could see late morning into early afternoon, I think it could still stack up. So let's get to it. This is what we're thinking for snow totals. Not huge numbers, right? 3 to 5 inches through northern New Jersey, who frankly could use a break after 2 feet plus in a lot of places earlier this week. That heavier snow band sets up, looks like south of the city, parts of Middlesex, Monmouth, and Ocean County, out into Long Island, and then it kind of clips Brooklyn and Queens. I'll give you a little bit of a closer look at some of the spots seeing that heavier band of snow. I've got coastal Connecticut right now at 3 to 5 inches. I'm not going to be shocked if Bridgeport, if Greenwich get 6 inches of snow. It's going to be real close in southern Connecticut. Long Island, Nassau, Suffolk County, you guys should be pretty steady. 5 to 8 inches of snow, a lot of that coming during the afternoon if those heavier snow bands set up. East End, which you kind of got skunked a little bit last time, maybe you didn't mind that, I think you could see some of the bigger snowfall totals out of this one. 8, maybe even 9 inches possible on that far East End through the Hamptons, out into Montauk. I think it's going to be a pretty heavy, wet snow for you guys. Closer to the city, this is kind of where things get tricky, right? I had somebody ask me about Staten Island. Right now, I've got it at 3 to 5 inches. Could this line shift a little bit to the north and parts of Staten Island get 6 inches, maybe 7 inches? Sure, that's possible, but that's all kind of within the same range. Kind of expecting a similar thing here through Brooklyn. Closer to Manhattan, I think you're probably closer to 5 inches. Closer to the water, I think you're probably closer to 5, 6 inches. Similar story for Queens. And then out through Long Island, like we said, up over 5, 6 inches of snow. Union, Essex, Bergen County, moving northward, you're in that 3 to 5 inch band. Down south along the Jersey Shore, like last time, it's that southern edge where things get tight. Those that rain mixing in really interferes with some of those bigger snow totals. Maybe you don't mind this down in Ocean County. Maybe you don't want to get slammed with snow. But I think we're going to see some rain there early, especially farther south, and then the snow comes in late. A lot of that snow that comes in after rain will melt initially because the ground's going to be wet, but eventually snow takes over and should stack up to a few inches there. Farther north, that transition happens earlier, and that's why I think you can see some of those bigger snowfall totals stack up through northern Ocean and into Monmouth County as well. Now, we are still way ahead of the game after the snow earlier this week. Take a look at some of these numbers. In Central Park, we get 28 inches of snow down, more than double where we're supposed to be at this point in the season, which coming off last winter is a dramatic shift. Hardly had any snow at all a winter ago, but this time around we've had a lot early, 2 big snowstorms already, and another moderate one here coming through the day on Sunday. Newark, which is nearly 16 inches above average. Again, I think you're kind of in that 3 to 5 inch range, but still, that'll keep you well ahead of pace. And Islip, which is the closest right now to typical snowfall totals by the first week of February, Islip plays catch up this week. I think 5, 6, 7 inches certainly possible there. So they are getting a chance to catch up. Now, I wanted to go ahead and jump ahead a little bit and give you an idea of what's coming next. things are going to be pretty quiet Sunday, Monday, but cold, and that's going to allow that snow to stick around for a while. Again, there's that storm as it rolls through on Sunday. Monday's cold. Tuesday, give you an early look at another storm rolling in. I think this starts out as snow, but that rain-snow line that seems to set up over Ocean County so often drifts a little bit more north. So I don't think we're going to see huge snow totals here. This one will probably be a mess, though, on Tuesday. Rain and snow, maybe even some freezing rain mixing into that system there. And then it just gets colder. All the snow and ice, I think, is going to lock into place because as we head into next week, all this really cold air starts to sink south and sets up over most of the country. In fact, you look at the middle of the month, look at the dates there, February 12th to 16th, most of the country is looking at below average temperatures, and most of the middle of the country is looking at extremely below average temperatures. I think a lot of the Midwest is going to spend about a week below 10 degrees. So the temperatures we've got coming, highs in the 20s, lows in the teens, are going to be cold, colder than we've seen so far this winter, but could be worse, right? Again, here's that snow map again. I'm going to go ahead and jump over and look at some of your comments because I want to answer all your specific questions here as I can. A lot of you sending in, yep, getting the bread, getting the milk. It does snow in winter. Yes, it does, Bridget. No need to panic. We're trying to give you plenty of heads up on this one. It is Super Bowl Sunday. That's right. So good news. Hopefully everybody is at home, in front of a TV, not driving, going anywhere, dealing with the snow during the day. I think most of the snow is done by kickoff anyways, by halftime, definitely done. And my hope is that there's plenty of time after the snow quits to kind of clear roads on Sunday night into early Monday morning. Hopefully make them safe again for people to kind of commute if they've got to head and work, and kids to kind of get back into school if they do have in-class learning. Lori wanted to know how much in Westchester. So I've got 3 to 5 inches, Lori, for Westchester County. Ruth asking about Teaneck, New Jersey. Same thing there. 3 to 5 inches of snow is what looks most likely. This is a very specific question. I love this. Mark Sooth wants to know if I drive from Scranton to Morris County at 5:30 a.m., what will I see in Western New Jersey and the Poconos? This is what Facebook Live is for, to answer those sorts of specific questions. So let's go ahead and look. 5:30 on Sunday morning, coming in from Scranton. Mark, you're fine. Getting close to Morris County. I'm not sure how long it's going to take you. If you can do it in under 3 hours, you're probably okay. If the drive's a little bit longer than that, you'll probably catch some snow on the back end as you're getting into, I'm not exactly sure where the highway takes you, through Pike or through Warren County, but just some light snow there. And then by the time you're getting to Morris County, it should be snowing pretty lightly. The heavier stuff coming in a little bit later on. A lot of people with thoughts about the Super Bowl. I'm not doing any predictions on here. Diet or Deet, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I got that wrong. But want to know about Rockland County. Rockland County is back within that 3 to 5 inch snow band. I think that's probably a pretty safe bet. 3-4 inches of snow as you head a little bit farther north, as you get up into Dutchess and Ulster, Sullivan County. Snow's probably going to be a little bit lighter. 1 to 3 sounds a little bit more likely there. Leslie Rosenthal wants to know how much in Queens. That's one of those tough questions, right? It depends where you are. I think most of Queens is going to get 5+ inches of snow, 5 to 6. If you are closer to Manhattan, if you're kind of up in this part of Queens, I think it's probably in that 4 to 5 inch range, but it's really going to depend where those heavier snow bands set up. If you look out your window as you're having lunch on Sunday and the snow's coming down hard, as opposed to kind of like that gentle, easy snow we'll see in the morning, if it starts to pick up around lunchtime, go ahead and bump up those projections. Leslie, you're probably going to be closer to that 5 to 8 inch range. Driving conditions, Gina wants to know, again, it's not going to be those crazy winds like we saw where visibility was down to 0, those whiteout blizzard-like conditions on Monday, Tuesday. Winds are way down. This event, very different from what we had Monday, Tuesday. But roads are going to be messy, right? Snowing, it's going to be hard to keep up, especially as that snow gets heavier toward the middle of the day. Even if plows are out, it's still snowing. So if you can avoid it, I would try to stay off the roads, say 9 to 5 tomorrow. That's kind of when I would expect the worst driving conditions to develop is kind of that 8-hour shift between 9 and 5. As we get later into the evening hours, things start to calm down. Leslie wanted to know about Trenton. Trenton right now, I've got closer to 5, maybe 6 inches of snow. Dawn wanted to know about Matawan, New Jersey, which I think is going to be around that 3 to 5 inch range. Let me just double check. That one's in Monmouth County, so yeah, that should be 5-6 inches of snow. Sorry, don't have every town memorized exactly what county it's in, but Matawan should be 5-6 inches, maybe a little bit heavier. Poughkeepsie, Brianna wants to know about Poughkeepsie. Let's go ahead and jump back and give you a closer look. Poughkeepsie's kind of right on that line between 3 to 5 and 1 to 3. So let's just go say 3 inches of snow in Poughkeepsie. 2.5 to 3.5 inches of snow sounds right. Yvonne wanted to know about Jersey City. 3 to 5 for Jersey City. Yvonne. Elizabeth wanted to know, come on, Matt, predict. I'm predicting. That's what this is. Hudson Valley, Hope says. She wants to know 3 to 5 southern Hudson Valley. As you move up north, it'll be a little bit lighter. Asbury Park, Alexandra wants to know. Asbury Park, let's go ahead and give you a double check on that one. Asbury Park, I think, is going to be close to that kind of 3 to 5 inch range, maybe a little bit more than that. Islip, 5 to 8. Brooklyn, Amy wants to know about Brooklyn. So it depends, right? It depends where you are. I think most of Brooklyn gets kind of that 3 to 5, but you can see kind of the south side of Long Island, southeast side of Long Island, maybe seeing some 6 inch totals possible out that direction. Edison, New Jersey, Jassy wants to know about. That should be in that 3 to 5 inch range. Let's see, one more question coming in from Mark. Let me make sure. It's just me here, so I'm reading all the comments and making sure I'm getting all this stuff right too. Mark wanted to know about Scarsdale. Scarsdale, 3 to 5 sounds right to me. And Bobby, Freeport, Long Island, 5 to 8 out through Long Island. Let's go ahead and go walk you through this one more time, just to kind of give you the hour by hour, because I think this is going to be helpful for planning purposes, right? We're clear as can be right now, but clouds come in tonight. Snow starts to roll in, I'd say between 7 and 9 tomorrow. Ocean and Monmouth County, a little bit of mixing here first with rain, and then that turns over to snow. This is going to be that lunchtime check. Look out your window. Is it snowing hard? If so, you are in that heavier snow band, and those totals are probably going to be in the high end of the range we're telling you about. So if it's snowing hard, and we said 3 to 5, you're probably closer to 5. If it's snowing hard, and we said 5 to 8 for you, probably close to 7 or 8. Long Island through the afternoon, that's still steady, if not heavy snow. 4, 5, 6 o'clock, finally clearing out by 8 or so. Again, we are done by 8, under 12 hours from start to finish with this one. So as it clears out, hopefully that gives road crews, plow crews enough time to kind of get those roads cleared between the end of the event and that Monday morning rush, to make sure they're safe for commuters and make sure schools are open if they can be on Monday morning. So, all right, there we go. That's what I've got for you. There's the map one more time. We don't expect to make any big changes to this. If those lines nudge a little bit north and south, there would be minor adjustments here on out as we are less than 12 hours away from the start of this event. If you want to know more, if we haven't covered it all here, we will be back at 11 o'clock tonight before a new SNL, and we will be on for Today in New York. Rafael Miranda will see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. I'll be with you starting at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll stick with you all the day and into the night to make sure that you've got all the information you need to know. Until then, stay safe, and we will see you for